let's travel back in time to the reign of King George IV. And he was the one that came to the throne after Mad George III, who lost us America. So 1820 to 1830. And it's an era that is, I guess, kind of slightly more mysterious than Victoria in terms of coins, because we all see Victorian coins. So you can see how he looked in reality, and then if you were a fan of Blackadder, the British comedy, like me, in Blackadder III, Hugh Laurie played George IV. So the Prince Regent, full of excess and stupidity, and that was how I came to know George IV, really, because I guess he was on the throne for 10 years, much shorter reign than some of the other kings, and obviously Victoria lasted a hell of a long time. So it was quite exciting to be able to pick up a coin, a gold coin, a sovereign from George IV's reign. There were 10 years. First 5 years, the coins are fairly plentiful, and they're something called Laureate head coins, which we'll go on to in a little while. And then midway through his reign, the style of the head of the coin changed to what's called the bear head, and I think a lot of the bear head coins were destroyed or melted down. So actually some of those years of the bear head coin are very expensive and very rare. I think one or two of them are R3 according to Marsh, and I think there is 1 year earlier on in the reign which is kind of also quite rare. They didn't make very many coins. This particular one is probably the most plentiful of all of the George IV coins. So this was the first year they made coins with his portrait, 1821. He came to the throne in 1820, but I don't think there are any coins with his portrait in 1820. It took them a while to get this all modelled and made and everything else. So he looks like a fairly stout kind of guy, and there he is with his Laureate head. And the background to this coin is it was in an auction on eBay. There were plenty of bidders. It came from a guy who seems to sell a fair amount of coins in the UK, although most of his other sales were of much lower value coins than this one. And I bid on this coin. The pictures look good on eBay. In real life, the pictures probably didn't quite do justice to it. I think it looks a tiny bit better than it did in the eBay photos, and from some of the angles you'll see on video, it's much easier to see a condition of this kind of coin when you see it in the light, and you can see the kind of detail. It's got a lot of detail. I asked a few people to guess what grade it is, and so far people have guessed between AU58 and MS63. AU55 somebody guessed. I really don't think this is an AU55 coin. I think it's better than that. But I'd be happy with AU58 up to MS63. Probably won't get any more than that. Some of the MS64 coins that are around, there are a few, seem just that tiny little bit crisper. So, but I think it's a really nice coin. The guy who sold it said it was the best one he'd ever seen dealing with coins, and I can believe that. I think it's really very nice and good pickup, even though it was expensive. The background to this Laureate head is interesting. Here's a Vespasian coin, Roman coin, AD 73. And you can see that it all came. You heard of the Nobel laureate, and it was like something which represented distinction or learning or education or peace, and it's been used on Napoleon and Roman coins and Greek coins, and it's kind of interesting that it was used for some of our kings, and I think it's a really nice look. There is an 1825, I think, that I quite like to have in the collection, which is another Laureate head coin. Anyway, let's have a look at the last few pictures, and then you guys can let me know what you think. Please like, please subscribe. If you hate, then keep it to yourself, and thanks very much for watching.